Carl, I think we need to do like a recap because this is...
I don't
remember anything.
I don't remember anything.
I didn't know this film dropped, and yet here it is.
It's got no fan. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it, but man, what a franchise. What a fumble.
To come at the end, squirt it out, just like, here's the last one I get.
Fifth one. We couldn't even afford the cast this time. Enjoy.
My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl.
And this is Who Would Watch This? Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast. We watch a film, chat about the film, then try and figure out who would watch this.
Today we are reviewing After Everything, which again, some of the worst titles.
So
all
far,
franchise
somehow
long.
they've the laziest film. They've gone, should we just try and a little bit okay? The last one was called like After Ever Nafta Nafta.
Yeah,
Bad.
it's word vomit. They've
Word
just
vomit.
thrown up a title.
This one's a little bit better, but still one of the laziest.
After Everything currently has a 1.7 on Letterboxd. It does not have a rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but let's just assume it's rotten. And it has a 4.7 on IMDb. So nothing's pointing towards a hit here.
It's I mean, if you was hanging out for the fifth one, like maybe they kind of nailed this in the end. Fair's Twilight did that.
Yeah.
They really nailed it in the fifth one, so maybe this one could.
Hey, I went in with expectations of
It's
porners.
a two-parter. They've really copied the Twilight thing. It's great.
They have. This is their end game. This is their end game.
Carl, here's the plot. After breaking up his true love, best-selling author Hardin Scott travels to Portugal in an attempt to make amends for his past behavior. Wow.
I didn't know the plot going in, so it threw me. There's a lot of Portugal.
Yeah, a lot of Portugal.
Oscar, we've been doing the After franchise since it came out.
Yeah.
At the beginning of our podcast. How long have we been doing the podcast for?
It must be about 3 years now.
Yeah. So we've seen the whole franchise.
Yes. We've
They
evolved.
popped them out 5 over 3 years.
It's crazy, right? We can't keep up.
Yeah, I know, right? They've got to be doing a prequel.
Yeah.
You don't just give up on this.
Oh my god, this is gold. This is gold for us, at least.
Oscar, I think we need to discuss recapping it because I haven't got a lot of context for anything that happens in the movie. And I also think it's hilarious that we are part of a select few people who have seen every After film.
It's great because, I mean, there's an ad at Amazon. This is how we found out. It's the actor who plays Hardin, just like, here's what you missed on After. And he gives a recap, but it doesn't go into anything. Yeah. And I've written down,
he skips a lot of the abuse.
Oh, it skips
he
all
skips
the
a
abuse.
lot of his characters'
Dare
abuse.
I say 80% of this franchise is just violence and drinking.
It's a lot of just fights and fucking.
Let's get into a little recap, okay? After, we're introduced to Tessa. She's the girl next door. She's a bookworm. Would you say that's kind of like her thing?
Yeah.
She's like a fanfic insert. Great stuff. She's attending school. She meets the bad boy Hardin. He reads, so he's not like other boys.
He loves like just the most generic American great novels.
Oh yeah.
He's just like on the road. It's
You
a
ever
little
read
gem nobody's ever touched.
You ever read Hermas Hemingway? I haven't, but I've got it on my bookshelf.
You ever heard of someone named William Shakespeare?
Not much is established in this one. Landon's his brother, so, you know.
Huge for Landon.
Hold on to that one. Pretty much this story starts how most rom-coms start. Essentially, Hardin's dared to date Tessa. And
we don't know that, though.
We don't know that. That's the twist of the first one. But as it evolves, they slowly fall in love. And where, like, the third act would start, where, like, she finds out and then they actually fall back in love. This one ends with her finding out and rightfully going, that was a really dick move. I don't think I want to see you again. Yeah. The film ends on that. And you kind of go, whew, I guess it's over for them. No, 4 more to go.
And everyone's life is better if they don't get back together.
Oh, 100%.
They destroy everyone around them as well over the course
Hardin's
of
a toxic mess. Anyway, after we collided, we start off, Hardin's chatting to a hobo. Don't worry, it won't come back. Wink, wink. Now, this one's fun because I think this one, they had a bit of money and they were like, can this be the next Twilight?
Well, the first one was a hit. It
Yeah.
like made tens of millions of dollars.
Yes.
So as a really low budget.
They were like,
film.
get Dylan Sprouse on the phone.
Get me one of the Sprouses, whichever one's not on Riverdale.
So Tess is like, finally, I can just, pursue my career as like a book person. And Dylan is also there, and they're kind of falling in love.
They're both. Is it? And they're at Hardin's company. Hardin's dad's publishing company, I think.
Yes, I think his name's Vance or something.
Yeah, and they're both the interns.
They
Or I
are.
think Dylan's maybe a bit
He's
better.
a bit higher, you know?
But she's also like, do I fuck Dylan or do I fuck Hardin?
It's a
Hardin's like apologizing.
He's meant to be like the Jacob like insert. If you're going down the Twilight pathway, they drop the Jacob subplot because they cannot afford Dylan. But anyway, Hardin
Imagine
rocks
not
up.
affording Dylan.
Can we just get Cole? He's way more. Come on, man.
Don't get invested in any of the characters or their actors because they swap out every actor apart from the main two after
And
the second
Langdon.
one.
And Landon. That's all.
I don't think Landon's the same as in the first film, though.
Oh, man, I think actually they recast him.
Yeah, I think they recast him. Yeah.
Anyway, Hardin's more violent, he drinks a lot, and he's just not a good person. And yet Tessa's like, maybe I'll date him.
It's crazy he has a drinking problem still.
Well, he's a writer.
No, but it's like Hardin has the most, like, 12-year-old girl dark past. Like, the Wattpad-ness of the entire franchise comes through in Hardin's characterization.
Well, you say that, but then he gets this backstory about his mum, which this film should not tackle.
No.
It's a deadly thing.
None of it's tasteful.
Oh, it's so tasteful.
None of it's tasteful.
And the film's kind of like, that's why he drinks. It's like, oh, damn. Every time he has a bottle, it's just a bit sadder.
So this is where it's revealed at the end that Tessa's dad is the hobo that's been following them around.
Which starts the trajectory of every film ending with such a twist.
Yeah, and I still will stand by, regardless of what I think of the rest of the franchise and these movies in general, the ending beat of that reveal that the hobo is her dad is like a top 20 best ending ever.
Oh, 100%.
I remember watching just the ending with you. You threw shit across the wall.
I couldn't believe
you
it.
were thrown.
This film does such a dirty thing of just like, God, it's bland and boring. And then that last moment, they just nail it each time.
I remember Hardin throwing the dad against the wall and being like, stay away from Tessa, and her just going, Dad. And then cut to black, and I just remember chills.
Chills.
I've got chills recounting it. Look at me.
God, you're so bubbly. You're so bumpy.
Oh,
See a doctor. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Oh, look at it. It's hives.
All right. After we
All the mumps.
after we fell, the third one. Tessa's dad is a mess. He's a drunk, and then Hardin's like, dude, this guy fucking slaps. Should we just hang out?
Hardin loves him.
He's like, do you want to go drink at a bar? Tess is off. She's like, I'm going to try and focus on my career.
Hardin's like, let's do hard drugs together as well. Let's get some meth up in this joint.
It goes on a tangent. This one, you feel the COVID, hits. Because they're like, should we go to isolated house?
Oh, was this the house one?
This is the house one.
The triangle house.
The triangle house one.
Huge.
It makes a comeback.
I forgot. This one after we fell is the house one.
Yes.
Wow.
Huge, right? Anyway, they fuck and they fight for about 40 minutes of the film.
No, but the architecture of the house is stunning.
Oh, it's absolutely stunning.
Honestly, they absolutely got easily the prettiest yet most affordable place on Airbnb and shot a film there.
You can see it's a nice 4 stars.
Yeah.
Nothing too fancy. It's a fun find, but it's in their price range.
It's like, for a fact, you look at that house and you go, it's a beautiful house. It's doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's not a super host.
No. Oh, it wishes it was super
It wishes it had a super host.
There's a spa there, but not like a nice spa.
It's not cleaned.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it should be cleaned. It's fucking filthy. They've been
should
fucking
add
in that spa.
You should add chemicals to it.
Oh, yeah. Heavy bleach.
Like, you'd get pregnant sitting in that spa. It's just an incubator for disease.
Speaking of pregnancy, Tessa can't get pregnant.
Is this where we find that out too?
Yes,
God, the third film's just huge.
It's everything,
packed with
right?
information.
They fight a bit. Tessa almost moves to Seattle to get out of it, but Hardin just grabs his little claws into her and brings her back down,
Oh, God. Hardin's character's the worst.
We also find out Hardin's real father is someone.
Oh, that's right. So this is the wedding? At the end is the...
Yes.
So we know Hardin's, who he believes to be his dad,
Yes.
is rich.
Yeah.
His mum
Yeah.
is best friends with the guy that owns the company.
Yeah.
And he turns out to be the dad. And he's the one that's dating the chick. Remember how she is like the main book publisher?
Yes.
Or like...
It's all very incest.
But she didn't come back for this movie.
No. It feels like a big reveal, and then the next one, it's just, hey, Dad, how you doing?
But is Hardin's mum now together with his biological dad?
I don't think so, no.
Right.
I
so
think
they
he's
just
got
sort
two
of-
random parents he's never met. He's like, those are my parents now.
So he's got 3 parents.
He's got 4 parents, I think, somehow.
Wow.
Here's the thing. It doesn't pay off.
It's such a good sitcom setup. If this had canned laughter, this would be such a hit on NBC.
2 mums, 2 dads, and a half man.
And a hard-on.
Oh, clever.
Right.
After Ever Happy, one of the worst names. Hardin's fighting with his dad. He's just got a lot of daddy issues.
He finds out at the wedding, right, and destroys the wedding.
Destroys it. He lights a fire.
Fuck, I forgot he lit a fire.
He lights a fire.
He gets no repercussions,
No
right?
repercussion. He just keeps drinking. He's a mess.
You just look, if your boyfriend lights a fire in Manhattan, don't marry him.
Yeah, Tessa's had so many warnings. She keeps getting dragged back by Hardin. Everyone's like, listen, Tessa, we can get you a job in New York. Just fly away somewhere. She can't get out.
Even people that say they love Hardin are telling her, hey, I love Hardin, but you've got to get out. You've got to save yourself.
You've got to get out of this.
He's a black hole and he'll drag you down, Tessa. And her constant response of, but I can save him.
Yeah.
It's like, Tessa, you can't.
You can't.
Let him die alone.
There's more fighting. Her dad dies. And Tessa's...
Oh, yes!
Tessa's broken. And Hardin's like, why won't you fuck me, you bitch? And Tessa's like, ugh, a rock in a hard place. Who do I fall in love with?
This whole movie's coming back to me. So this is like, they're at the funeral and he can't get an Uber.
Yeah.
I think we had a big bit about the food spread.
Yeah.
At the funeral.
Bad food spread.
Yeah.
Many fruit.
This is... I think I may have on the last one said...
I think you said this was your favorite one.
I think it was the best one.
Yeah.
I think I might still stand by that. I think it sounds pretty good.
It sounds
It
pretty
opened
nuts.
with a death. She moves to New York. She finds her footing. She becomes a...
She's almost out.
Yeah.
And then Hardin just fucking like will go up, rock up. She's like, I love you, Tessa. Come back with me. By the way, I've written a book about everything that we've gone through. And
What a climax!
again, what a payoff at the end. He writes a book about everything he's done to her. It's mean.
Yeah,
and
it's
she's
awful.
rightfully like, okay, we're done.
Well, she didn't give him his permission.
No.
He went ahead and published it, shopped it around.
Yeah. She has a great line. I remember he's like, oh, it was an accident. She was like, you accidentally wrote a book, went to publishers, went to multiple meetings, got it published, and had a book signing. That was... I fell into it. After we fell into it, that's what the second title's going to be called.
I wasn't sure how to get myself out of the situation.
I've now reminded of a Hardin accent. I feel like I haven't gone to that well. Oh, Tessa!
My Tessa! You're my Tessa! He is... It's wild. Hero Tiffin Fines, I think is the actor's name. A performance for a generation.
Oh, and
Our Heath Ledger.
And finally, we're at After Everything. We can now start chatting on the movie. Carl, let's chat about After Everything.
It's a shame because I think what I loved most about After Ever Happy is that one began with
Death.
Jump right into death. It began with a recap.
Yes.
This one, a little bit, but not too much.
It's odd because I feel like this is almost like a spin-off because first off, Tessa is mainly just stock footage they filmed in the previous ones. She's not in this.
I'm convinced she maybe did a Prada ad like 20 months ago.
Yeah.
And they've just interspersed that. Like they were like, it's cheaper for us to buy the ad and chop that into dream sequences and then we'll hire her for a single day of shooting at a house she liked from a few movies ago.
That's it.
So we get a little bit of a, they're setting up a bit of a mystery box here.
Yeah.
They're setting up, is Tessa getting married to Hardin?
Yeah.
They're at a wedding?
It's very, it's very Twilight-esque, just without the budget.
Yeah.
We're at a wedding. Is this theirs? Bang. We get a flashback backwards.
Oh, so this is what's great. They don't hold off. We immediately get one of the best things about this franchise, which is Hardin's VO.
Oh yeah.
Him narrating is never not nonsense. It's so good. So this is him, big beautiful opening of a wedding. Love is patient. Love is kind.
But love doesn't have a memory.
What were your thoughts on how the wedding looked?
Well, I thought it looked cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I feel like they had that, Crazy Rich Asians had that beautiful water scene.
Yeah.
They just had some wet rocks down the middle.
Absolutely. And they had some wet rocks down the middle and they had an open flying electricity pole.
Oh,
just
yeah.
being ready to zap them
one
all.
of those car those big dancing guys at car salesmen. 5 of those around the wedding, some wet rocks. I painted a beautiful picture. That's the wedding.
I think it's one of my favorite things at the moment is knowing, because both of us are in the middle of wedding planning.
Yes.
It's fun to see movie ones and go, I just need mine to be better than that one.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They've gone for a barn, but with no panels on all the barns. So just a skeleton barn, 4 seats and some wet rocks. I think we can beat that.
Yeah, it just a piece of me was like, wow, my like 20 grand's going to stretch way further than this $4 million movie version of a wedding could, and that's winning. That's winning, Amazon Prime.
So we get introduced to Hardin. He's chatting with his publisher because the book's done well, and she's like, we need another one, Hardin. He's drinking hard, he's not over Tessa.
Yep. We get what is, I think, maybe just a clear somebody that should be fired. So Hardin's editor is just like, let's go get some drinks, let's get drunk, let's go dance, and then maybe like we'll have sex together.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, what are you? Are you the editor? Are you the agent?
It seems like the agent.
Because
she's paying him.
Well, she's just like, we got you a $250,000 advance. Like, we have to revoke that if you don't give us the fucking draft.
But should we get fucked up tonight?
Yeah, I know, but why does he even care about money?
He's very rich. I don't think he can... Well, in fairness, he constantly goes on holidays, so it must cost... He's using his advance quickly.
Well, I don't know if he's just mooching off his dad anyway. So is he in book writing for the art of it?
I think the film's forgotten. I think the films have forgotten he's poor.
I just remember I think the previous one, when he read this book at therapy, I just thought, that's the worst thing you could do to these poor people. They're trying to better their lives. They don't want to listen to your fucking book, Hardin.
I do love that the agent is very meta. She's almost like, Hardin, you need to get this done quickly. People will forget after 2 years. And I think the film's sort of displaying itself.
You don't want this book to end up on Amazon.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be like a Kindle only, right? You want it to have hardcover, right?
You want it to get into movie theaters.
Yeah, right?
Please buy this movie.
You want to potentially be played by Harry Styles. How would that be, huh? Cheeky. So Hardin is just... I've never seen such a despicable, horny character so disinterested in having a threesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm shocked he was not tempted by this.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he's blinded with rage, maybe?
He's angry and drunk. The two women wake up the next morning, and he's passed out on the couch like a pile of vomit. And he's just like, fuck, he's a goddamn... They're just negging him. He's awake.
A meter away.
Yeah.
Just negging him.
Oh, God, I hope he doesn't wake up because he's just a sad piece of shit. You know, I'm publishing his book. It's the most grim thing I've ever read.
Should we, if he's going to throw up on himself, should we put him on his back so we know he'll choke? Or should we leave him on the side?
We'll run away with the money, huh?
Yeah.
It's better. It's more of a charity to stop that book from coming out.
She's like, me and you, baby. I know we only met last night, but let's just do this.
Let's kill this man.
Let's
kill this man in cold blood.
Let's just...
It's bonding. It's bonding.
There's $250,000 on the walls here. We'll just take all the art and go.
Here's the problem. If we don't kill him, he's going to write a sad story about us, and we need to get that done.
Do you want to end up in a fucking book without his permission? We need to get out of here. It's wild, though, because then he's just like, guys, I'm awake.
Yeah.
Like...
And he's like, ugh.
He's like, guys, honestly, roll me onto my back.
Just ended it. Tessa, oh, shut up about Tessa.
It's crazy they pick a picture off the wall of him and Tessa, and they're like, who's this? And he's like, the one I'll never get back and the cause of all my misery. And they neg him.
They're like, oh, God, we're not getting this. It's a fun little start of the montage of the film. He's like...
sorry, I'm still going on about this scene.
Oh, go.
So on top of that, he's woken up. They've negged him, right? He gets up and he's like, why are you guys wearing my clothes? Where'd you sleep? Did you just sleep in your bed? Are you helping yourself to my fridge and my coffee?
She's eating like some leftovers, just like, Hardin, maybe you should go drink yourself stupid, huh?
Hardin's like, I've got a meeting. You guys need to let yourself out. And she's like, hey, not to talk business, but like, we will bankrupt you if we don't get the draft. And I was like, what the fuck relationship have you got here?
Somehow this character is somehow worse than Hardin, which is hard. We had 5 movies of Hardin. This woman's gone in just like, Hardin, you're a fucking mess. I'm stealing your money. And guess what? This is my house now.
I would watch it a heartbeat. And I would call it whatever hot mess this is with an arrow pointed at his agent. Just like, I'd watch whatever things going on there for sure.
We get... He's like, he goes to like a dinner, like a lunch with his mum and dad. They also neck him. He's just like, mum, dad. He's like, whiskey, please. Like, oh, you're drinking again? Because you're a fucking drunk, aren't you? You're fucking nothing. I heard a rumor you haven't been writing that book. Isn't that crazy that they've heard he's behind on the book? Has this woman been just spreading shit?
She's just talking. Well, I mean, this chick from the bar, she was like, that famous author that wrote a hit novel has got nothing left in him. Nothing. He's lying there on the couch. We slept in his bed. That's how much of a mess he is right now. He's got nothing without his muse.
Oh, yeah, his parents just like, dude, just fucking get out of here. I hear some woman. Now, in fairness, the film does a great job because they mention, oh, go see Nat again. And I was like, who's Nat?
Oh, as soon as they said that, I went, oh no.
Well, the film's tricky because we've never met this character before. And I thought,
I immediately Googled, I was like, Natalie.
No way, no way.
I was like, have we met her? Have they recast? What's the go here?
Yeah.
We've not met her.
We've not met
her. Also, I accidentally skipped it over my notes, so I really want to bring it up right now. When they go, you need to quicken up your sequel.
Yeah.
He goes, it took Harper Lee 55 years to write a sequel for her book. I thought, how dare you compare yourself to Harper Lee?
In fairness, though, after and To Kill a Mockingbird, similar critical score. Would you believe it, huh?
Yeah.
They both tackle a very topic.
Both a Wattpad production.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
To Kill a Mockingbird's just a Wattpad. Oh, Boo Radley gets fucked.
I know.
It's so hot.
Oh, you know
that bird and Boo Radley get absolutely minging.
Oh my god, you know who would have made an incredible Tessa? Gregory Peck!
I can't believe we've had so much Gregory Peck chat in the last two podcasts.
I will never not stop talking about Gregory Peck until you get some fucking light in this room. Fix the electricity, Oscar.
I brought a lamp in.
The lamp's not good enough. It's so
Doing
dark
a lot
in
of
here.
stuff.
It's still dark and we're recording in the day this time.
Hey. We're on a plane. Hardin's just drinking, and a flight attendant comes over. It's just like, hey, should we just like fuck in that bathroom? And he's like, yeah, I think we should just fuck in that bathroom.
Yeah. They just have, and it's like, they're not even courteous about how noisy they're being.
Yeah.
They're throwing each other against the wall. I'm surprised they're not rocking the plane from their...
Oh, yeah.
Their weight. I was like, God, they're being so careless in this first-class bathroom.
Yeah.
She's gonna get fired.
Oh, like that. We find out it's a dream.
Huge.
But it's weird that the film included this, because they're just like, ugh, the other ones had so much sex, and we got rid of Tessa. I guess he'll just fuck the flight attendant in a dream.
Well,
he definitely got a wet dream as well, because she's like, let me buckle your pants up. Oh, God, there's semen on the seat.
Wasn't it weird she buckled him up?
Yeah.
That's never happened.
That's the first class.
You don't.
Yeah,
What,
Carl.
if you're asleep, they buckle
We
you
don't
up.
know. We're economy scum, but in first class,
We've never been.
You don't
It's
have
true.
to buckle. They just do it for you.
Yeah. If anybody has flown first class, it was to let us know if the flight attendant will indeed buckle you up if the seatbelt sign is
And
on.
allow you to fuck them in a dream, I guess.
Yeah. Let us know at www.podcast. What is it?
Ask www.tpodcast@gmail.com.
Let us know.
If
Let us know.
you've been buckled in first class, huh?
Yeah, huh? Who's done it?
I'd like to say yes.
I know-
Thanks.
I would love to know if any of our listeners are rich.
In which case, pay us.
Yeah, yeah. Send us just a check to
We're in Portugal.
huge.
Yes.
We'd land in Portugal. I was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
We're now just doing tourism,
Yeah.
and it's just Hardin on holiday.
It's
Hardin takes on Lisbon.
I mean, we'll get into the who would watch this, but you know what? I've got to praise the filmmakers. They were like, fuck it, get some drone shots. Hardin is in Portugal, and then we'll have a holiday.
Yeah. I totally
Brave
get it.
choice for the last film.
It's also nice too because I very much enjoyed seeing like Lisbon. Have you been to Lisbon?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, stunning.
Well, I mean, it looks great.
It
I mean,
does.
they've done
I was
very
like,
well.
they did a great job
Yeah.
selling Lisbon. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Lisbon's nice.
Yeah, I don't mind. At this point, you know, they were like, fuck it, do we just take Amazon's money and just go to Portugal?
If the movie had simply pivoted into Hardin learns to like cook,
Yeah.
and just eats just beautiful food, and it's like an SBS cooking show for an hour,
great.
That would have been great. Then I would have believed his redemption arc.
The character of Hardin should be in like a quaint setting because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's too hard for this world. He needs to be in a very soft world, and that's what Lisbon's for.
Yeah, he loved. There's a scene here where he just like absolutely freaks out about like these fish fritter things.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think that's just the actor freaking out about them because it's the same reaction I had where I was like, holy shit, what are these? Like, just shoveling them down. Gluttonous I was in
It does
Lisbon.
feel very like they've gone, fuck the last four movies. Hardin, just walk around and like meet a new person. We'll fucking write her up for it.
It comes across as the director used the money from the last movie to have a detox in Lisbon and was obsessed.
Oh, honestly, she was like, I've written it. That was her muse.
Yeah. Just walked into production. They were like, "Has anyone been to Lisbon? It fucks. Should we all go together right now? I will write the movie around it. We'll have fish cakes. There'll be a scene with fish cakes."
We meet Natalie, who's just a woman, and we're like, all right, cool. How does Hardin know her? Bam, 5 years earlier.
I was like, oh, how many flashbacks are we gonna do?
Another flashback. Get this, Hardin. What a criminal. Him and his boys are playing poker at a mechanic shop, I guess, when he was like, 18?
Yeah, they're having like 500 mils of beer.
Yeah.
They're playing for like a watch.
Yeah.
And I think this is a pretty deep indicator of the type of people he used to hang out with.
Yeah.
And likely still does.
I think so. I feel like they were in the third film. But anyway.
It's weird to flash back to the context of which he fucked over Tessa the first time anyway.
Well, it's crazy because it seems like he's done this before. So anyway, Natalie goes in to mechanics like, hey, I need to get this car fixed. The boys neg. They go, that's the shittest car I've ever seen. Why are you even here? You should end it all.
Are they mechanics or are they simply
I don't know.
drinking there playing poker?
They're just drinking in a mechanic shop, which all cool boys do.
Yeah, because it's never come up before. Because how old is he meant to be here? So if
I
it's
assume 18. I assume 18 because he's like 23 or something.
But when was he in America for uni?
I don't know.
I don't understand. This breaks the timeline.
Oh, of course it breaks the timeline, but I don't think they give a shit. But anyway,
I do. We're holding this.
You want to hold? Name another character. Name his parents. What are their names? Yeah. That's
so unfair.
I'm not doing this.
That's so unfair.
I'm just pretending like he was in Lisbon 5 years ago. That's fine with me.
Surely the director was just like, the people will want to see Lisbon. They'll give us this.
Yeah.
They'll give us this to see more of Lisbon.
And we did.
Yeah.
So the boys...
I also got confused that this wasn't Lisbon 5 years ago, but the UK 5 years ago?
I guess so, yeah.
That also really threw me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what
you can't do a flashback and a time jump. Sorry, a location
swap.
Jump.
Like, it was like, you go 5 years ago, London... I guess maybe that's why his friends had the thickest accents ever.
Oi, blimey, mate! All right, let's go down to the pub and get absolutely hardened.
I want to be annihilated.
So the boys are negging her,
yeah,
and then they're like, I could fuck her.
It's wild for them to neg her, and then once she leaves, they all go, pretty hot though, right?
Yeah, I would fucking smash that penis. I would fucking smash that pussy so easy. And Hardin's like, yeah, I could fucking do it. And the boy's like, no, you couldn't. Hardin's like, bet me that watch. And then he immediately just walks.
He just does it.
He gets into her house, goes, should we fuck? And she goes, you know what? You did mock me at the mechanic, but that gets me going.
It's crazy. They make this scene so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, oh, you're actually awful.
Oh, it's a crime. So pretty much he's like, I'm gonna fuck her, but my boys need proof that I fucked her. So Hardin fucks her and goes, let's film it.
The actress is like 100% conveying fear.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the character is uncomfortable with the situation. It's very much a form of like assault, right?
Oh,
to
yeah.
do
Well,
this.
it's a crime, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like...
You know what the biggest crime is, though? The camera angle he films the sex scene at is hideous.
It's weird. Like, he winks at the camera
it's
too.
4 meters away, it's portrait, and he's just sort of got like the top of their heads, and it's just unsexy.
It's crazy there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if he was like, my friends won't believe this happened.
But he keeps looking back at the camera, winking, going, yeah. Like, she's like, what is this for?
And she's like, this is only for you, right?
Yeah.
Did you meet him at the mechanic place?
They're the worst men in the world!
Like, it's... Yeah, I mean, and I don't understand why, because obviously, like, we'll find out later, but it's pretty fucking clear he's going to put it on the internet or something.
Yeah.
Or I guess his friends put it on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know why Hardin sent them the original copy as proof.
Just
show them on your phone,
Yeah.
then delete the fucking video, Hardin.
Because he has, like, a very high moral ground. He's like, why did you post that? Hardin, why'd you film it? That's the issue.
It was really weird to do this and then go, we're going to redeem him. And it's like, you clearly played it of how uncomfortable she was this was even happening. I was like, he's done such awful things
Awful
all of
things.
his life.
Yeah. But it's crazy. So we're in the
And
present
he gets
day.
success. He writes a hit book and he
Two
succeeds.
success books. We'll get spoilers. But anyway,
Ugh.
present day, she's kind of fine with it. Which, you know...
Well, I mean, she literally had to move
she
to a foreign
she had to
country.
move to Portugal to get over it.
Yeah.
And she pretty much welcomes him back pretty kindly.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't
I have
know
no idea why she's fine with it. He also, like...
Isn't it crazy, though? Every, like, kind of girl he falls for, like, he has to do something dreadful to them.
He's clearly...
And then he's like, I've got him on a hook now.
More than drinking, he's addicted to gambling. Like, if you dare him or bet him to do something, he's on top of it so quick.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We're with Natalie, and they're at the beach, and then, like, the cool tattooed boy comes over, he's like, want to jump off a cliff? And Hardin peer pressured like that. He literally jumps off a cliff.
Oh, it takes a second. They're just like, would you do cliff diving? And she's like, that's dangerous, Hardin, don't do it.
It pretty much smash cuts to him mid-run off the cliff.
I'll assert my dominance. I've learned nothing over these films. I did also love that when she goes to meet him,
Yeah.
he's sitting on a flight, which is also like to say it's like he's trying all of these like Lisbon wines as well. I just enjoyed the fact that he's a character who was like, I'm here to make amends, but I also want to enjoy the culture.
Yeah,
like
I want to get fucked up. He wants to enjoy the culture, but then he also has a whiskey on the side.
Yeah,
He's like,
I know, right?
I am getting it's crazy to order a flight and then a
side whiskey. Can I get a whiskey neat and 4 wines? Your choice, mid-sized glasses. On like just a good paddle.
A good paddle.
I want a good paddle. Oh, give me what Porto has best to offer. When she sits down, she's like, hey, try this one. He finishes her drink.
Yeah.
He's so rude. As if you would spend more time with him after being like, I'm here to make amends, and he finishes your drink. Then on the next scene when they get dinner, he uses her fork to finish her food. And then it's just nuts how selfish she is. I couldn't get over it.
It's nuts, isn't it? Because he's also come over to like make amends, but I think he's just fishing for the next book, right? That's what I think it is, right?
Absolutely.
He's like, all right, I absolutely bullied Tessa. Maybe this thing I did really bad thing 5 years ago. I'm gonna milk that for another book.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone would enjoy these books. These books sound terrible.
Well, because there's
When
not
we
like...
watched them, we've seen them.
No, but like, here's the thing, like, I get why these books, like, in real life are popular, because it's, like, a romantic thing. What is Hardin writing about? Surely he's just...
If he's keeping in the sex, maybe that's why they're a hit.
Gotcha.
Maybe that's why they're all uncomfortable. They're just like... She's like, I didn't care about all the stuff you put in there, but why are all the sex scenes would be so graphically rewritten
God,
in
20
this?
pages of you licking out my vagina. Why?
Why? Why is it like this, Hardin? You didn't include any of the weird stuff I got to do to you.
Yeah. Tessa, no, that's weird, okay?
We don't talk about the things you did to me down there.
Yeah.
So we meet all of these guys on the beach.
Yes.
Antagonists, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're tattered up tattoo boys. They're the cool ones. However, they're meant to be douches, but then one of the cool douchey guys is like, I heard what you did to Natalie. That wasn't on. And Hardin's like, you're a bitch. How dare you call me out on my bullshit?
He's like, how dare you bring that up to me? Goes and slams 3 whiskeys. I was like, God, Hardin's such an insecure child of a man.
Oh, it's so bad. But then anyway, he gets beaten the shit out of him.
He does. Also, isn't it hilarious that he wears all black to the beach? Black shorts, black tee.
He reads like he's a writer. What's he meant to wear? Like fucking like blue?
But
Get out of here.
For like a character that's clearly obsessed with his body, because it's like you don't have a 6-pack unless you're trying to have a 6-pack.
Oh, you're saying he should be shirtless.
No, I'm just saying it's weird that he's like, oh, I wear all black. It's my soul. It's a shell of who I am. But it's like you obviously in a well enough position to drink all night and then go and work out the next day. That you obviously care about your health and appearance on top of everything else.
Straight up, Carl, I'll say right now, if I had this sweet bod, I would do the exact same thing. I'd be in baggy clothes, do all that stuff, and then when the time fucking is right, take a shirt off. You're like, oh, shit, daddy. That's what you want.
Yeah, and just look and you just go, oh, wow, the tattoos are what's shit about it.
Yeah.
The body's great, but the tattoos detract so much. Was that a full dragon tattoo at his back? He's like, yeah, I like Stig Larsson.
What a reference.
Once kicked a hornet's nest.
I'm a big fan of Benjamin Button. I like David Fincher's weirder films.
That's right. Shall we go watch Alien Cubed? Mank!
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Mank.
Huge Mank fan. I could move in black and white. So we end up going out on the boat.
Yes, with Nat.
We end up going out on the boat with Nat. I don't know if this is her boat or not. Does she own a wedding dress store, or do we think she just works there?
I think she might work there. I think she might own it, sort of semi. I think she owns it.
If she owns it, I can understand how she owns a boat.
Yeah.
But I got the opinion that she just works there, and thus I don't think could afford a boat.
Maybe she's robbed it. Maybe she's stolen a boat. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's like a boat's such a money pit. Like, it's millions of dollars.
Hear me out. I don't know what the Lisbon sort of transport is, but maybe a boat's like their car, you know?
I know. It's crazy. During this time, she looks up and is like, that's the house I want. But I'm like, if you own that boat, you're probably not far off owning that house.
No, not the slightest. Matter of fact, you should have got the house rather than the boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's weird that the film is going down this path, because I was like, are they going to get together?
Yeah.
Because, like, she's pretty much like, man, living up there with the special someone, that's real life. So remember, she's like, I need someone to live up there with me to make the house whole. Anyway.
And remember what he did to her as well. Remember what he did to her. It was awful.
She's so cool with it, and it's just, it's wrong.
I can understand her as a character getting past it, but she's pretty forgiving of the whole situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't be hanging out with Hardin.
No.
I mean, it's good they don't get together. It's good they don't get together.
Yeah. Crazy she even read his book.
Yeah.
The last thing you'd want to do is support him financially.
You can steal on. You can get a PDF online, don't worry. I'm sure the after book is not like, you can get it on a Kindle, you know. Amazon.
Imagine if he sued her when he found out that she'd just downloaded a free PDF.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't steal a book, would you?
Just massively sue. You'll never afford that house.
I'm taking the boat.
Burns down her store.
I like fire and alcohol. That's kind of my thing. God, he's a mess. He's just drinking. He can't write his book. That's his thing. He's in Lisbon. He's trying to write this book, but he can't, you know?
Yeah.
So he needs something to get him out of it.
There's a great line, really cuts in, where it's like anyone can write a good debut, but a talented person can write a second book.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Ah! Like, freaks out.
Anyway, he gets beaten up by the bullies, and he's thrown in jail.
Yep.
Finally, his dad.
Why is he thrown in jail?
I don't know.
Was anybody else thrown in jail?
It feels like there's 4 guys beating the shit out of the cops. Like, get Hardin. We know what he's done. Everyone around the town's heard.
Everyone knows. The guy's just like, all right, you 3 are arrested. And they're like, do you want to know what this guy did to that woman over there? And they're like, oh God, death penalty.
His dad. I can't keep tabs. Someone that's claiming to be his dad bails him out.
It's someone that knows him. I'm not even convinced it's the same actor. So
No.
for all we know, it's simply a father figure.
Yeah. But the dad's so funny because Hardin's obviously like in like a Portuguese jail. He's so fucked up, and his dad rocks up. He's like, "Haven't finished that book, have you? You fucking late."
Because the dad is also like potentially bought out his book deal.
Yeah,
so
I'm convinced he got this book because his dad owns the book publishing. Oh my god!
It's so right there where it's just like there was a $250,000 advance though.
Yeah.
So like, what are you doing about that?
Yeah.
They're just like, I know your face is smashed up, but your hands still work, right? You can type, right?
Yeah. Get to typing. But the dad just goes on. He's like, listen, Tessa ain't ever gonna fucking love you. Write this goddamn book.
I know.
Just figure out your life, man. You're a fucking mess.
Tessa's text is so awesome and cold of like, I've moved on, you should too, and never writes another thing to him.
It's great.
It's so good.
It's 5 films up to this. You're like, Tessa's finally learned. Get out of this situation.
Yeah, so I do love that in the end the dad's only there to give him a pep talk like any fucking inspiring writer does, which is just like, just write 1 page a day.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. That's your win. That's your win.
Hardin puts a hand on him and goes, thanks, Dad. And he goes, now that's winning. Like, I was like, okay, sure, I guess we can't give a shit.
Yeah, I think the last movie was sort of like him not accepting his father. I guess he didn't, and I guess this was it.
I don't know what's going on with his characters and their dads, but it's just like...
It's a fucking mess, let me tell you.
Clearly the writer's got something going on with her dad. Like, there's no way... Hardin has 2 weird dads, and Tessa's dad's dead. So
Yeah.
there's clearly like something against dads.
And the mums are silent.
Yeah, the mum. Remember Tessa's mum was awful, I think, in the first one?
She was. Remember in the first one, she was she was like, "Hey, I want to date Hardin." She's like, "Right, I'm cutting you off money-wise if you date that boy." And she was right to do so.
Damn. We should rewatch this franchise.
We should. Should we do it again?
Should we just do it again?
Keep doing
Stop it right now. I'll spoil my review of this movie. 5 stars.
Now, throughout the film, Langdon's been trying to call Hardin. They do a very clever job of also not hiring this actor till right at the end. He keeps miscalling him. But anyway, Landon's getting married.
Yeah.
Huge. And because Hardin's finally redeemed himself, he stopped drinking. He's like, "Hey, brother, I'm sorry I haven't been answering your calls. I'm keen to go to the wedding. And yes, I'll be the best man."
Just inserts himself. He goes, "And I love you." It's like, you guys have never gotten along. What the fuck is this?
He fought, and I swear to God, in the first one, he was like, "Are you looking at Tessa? I'll kill you."
They had fisticuffs constantly from
did.
memory.
Yeah.
Like,
it was awkward. He's just sort of on the side now. Weird. What do we think his book is about? What has he gained?
Well, it was funny because he was like, "Oh my God, I'm on an absolute roll."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, what is he writing about?" And then when they said the title before, I just went, "Oh, so he's written a fucking prequel."
Yeah.
So the laziest thing an author could do is he was just like, "What was my life before Tessa then?"
Well, because it literally would have been like the 5 years before that. This is this one thing I did to Nat. She's cool with it, by the way, but I fucking destroyed it, didn't I?
Essentially, imagine you reading a book where he goes, "Hey, I forced a woman who was uncomfortable and I wanted to film her, and then it got posted online. It wrecked her life, but she's forgiven me now, and that's the end of the book." I was like, "This is what a huge fucking wank." Nobody's gonna read this.
Well, I would love if it's kind of like, it's actually not like a biography. It's just like, it's like a kind of fucked up like American Psycho kind of vibe, you know? Just like, look at this dreadful boy living throughout his life. Isn't it a reflection on modern society? And Hardin's like, "No, that happened to me. That was all me."
Just at the end is always, I love the idea that the ending of his books are always like, "And it was me. I was the little boy."
It's me, Hardin Scott. Buy the next one. Love you, Tessa. Let's get married.
Tessa, call me. Below's my number.
Put it in the book. Oh, anyway, would you say he's redeemed? What's he done?
No, he's not redeemed.
What's he done to redeem himself?
He had, honestly, this is all that's happened to him. We found out that he's got an awful history of mistreating women in his life.
Yeah.
On top of that, he treats himself to a holiday in Lisbon, drinks other people's alcohol, finishes their fish cakes, buys a house as an apology, and fucks her out.
He gets into jail, and his dad he's given just like, oh man, he's given fucking enough. He's like, maybe you could keep writing. He's like, "I will do that."
This was him. Oh yeah, the book. He's like, "That's what I was here for." Fuck. Damn, Dad.
Thanks for putting me on the right path.
This is also Hardin. "Hey, Dad, what's the go with like a ghostwriter?"
I've got thoughts in my brain, but I don't really want to type. Can I just tell somebody?
It's James Pattinson after. Yeah, I don't think he's earned his redemption. I do love his little like montage though, which is him.
It's very.
So we'll get to the big thing with the house, which is just ludicrous.
Yeah.
But main thing during this montage of him sort of coming to terms, he's given up alcohol, he's writing his book, is he's down on a beach.
Oh yeah.
And he draws a heart in the sand and just does H plus T and admires it for a while. Walks away. I was like, "How old are you? You haven't seen her in 2 years."
When it reveals they haven't seen each other 2 years, and he's still caught up on this. This is so bad. Surely he must have forgotten about her at this point. It's crazy he writes in the sand. That is so pathetic.
I couldn't stop laughing at it. It's so pathetic. Imagine.
But he does draw on the sand and like 2 arms on his hips, like, "That's a good heart. It's a great, you know what? Maybe love is real. I'm convinced that's a curse." And then suddenly Tessa's like, "He's written in the sand. Oh, I can't get away now. He's inscribed it on the sand of time. He must be entwined for life."
It made me cackle. It just made me cackle. Why would he do this? Why would he? The two biggest moments of the movie are when he did this, and then subsequently when you were given the context they haven't seen each other in 25 months.
Oh, it's fucking
And I was
disgusting.
like, what the fuck was he doing?
He's been texting her every 4 months, just like, I love you. And she's like, I'm not reading that.
I don't think even. I think he just sends a question mark.
Yeah.
And she just sends a cross.
Yeah. Damn, I'll write another book. So pretty much, again, the film really hasn't had much of a relationship, really much sex, except in dream stuff.
Well, let's face it, they couldn't fucking afford the lead to come back.
No.
That's why Tessa's not in the movie.
Tessa's not in the film. It's just Hardin in Lisbon.
I was reading afterwards, people were like, oh, she's only in 30 minutes. She's not even in that. She's probably only in 10 minutes of the movie.
She's in one scene where she checks her text messages, which I'm convinced, I don't mean this as a joke, I really am convinced they went to her house and just filmed that.
I absolutely think you're right. I think she did 3 days of shooting on this.
And then we get the last day of the wedding, but we'll get to that. Anyway.
I also want to throw out there really quickly, though, I think as a director, this woman's done a good job getting around either conflicted scheduling or I was this material isn't good and this franchise isn't good, but being told your lead can't come back for the final movie to then just be cool.
Which is so it's their story.
It's so tough to then go find it's a full arc on Hardin then is, I think, an interesting way to take it. I think she's done. She's done well.
I feel for the others, you can be they had all the resources. This one they don't, and as a result, they've gone down a different path. I don't mind, right?
No,
I'm fine. Fuck it.
It's just they've gone. Okay, I think they've done a pretty good job of literally. I've never seen a franchise drag its corpse across a finish line.
Yeah,
it's literally as the franchise goes on, running out of budget.
Yeah,
just. Actors not returning, the story's running out because this is past the final book. Just dragging themselves to the finish line, and they do it.
Yeah,
props to the director.
Yeah,
for just getting it done, finishing these movies,
and getting a holiday out of it. Good for her.
Going to Lisbon. What a dream!
What a fucking dream. We get the final scene. Hardin gives Nat the keys to the house
and his book.
Mainly the book.
It's mainly about the book. I was like, God, you've learned nothing.
I do love his note. Is it's a rough draft. And you should be like, oh God, you wanted me to edit this?
He's like, I need to.
My editor fucked me last time, so I don't really have one in. We're not on good speaking terms. She's fucking some guy at my house, so we need to sort of, figure this out.
She got herself into squatters' rights, and I can't go home. I should have. After I did that meeting, I flew straight here. She just kept.
She got it.
There.
Everyone knows squatting rights happens in 3 months, and she nailed it.
I simply don't know what to do. Help me, Nat.
She gives Nat the house, but Nat's very specific. Was I need someone else to live here. Otherwise, it's not lonely.
I think
good for her getting a house. Though,
good
right?
for her getting a house. A piece of me is just it's her just being like, how old is she? 26.
Yeah.
Her just being like, my dreams to own that. She just got to skip a bunch of her life dream.
Yeah.
And just be like, I guess I've got assets and stuff now.
Yeah.
So. What am I working towards?
Oh, you think she's oh God, she's thrown into a deep depression. She's got nothing. If you don't achieve your goal, have you really earned it? You know?
I just don't know what's a goal after that. Then she's like, "Fuck the house thing. I really wanted at 60."
Yeah, this is kind of a retirement plan.
Well, because it's also
I've now got to commute by boat to my work.
She's like,
which is expensive,
so far away.
Yeah,
she's like, I don't know what to do. There's upkeep.
Yeah, there's land tax.
He's also there's a note there that says, hey, mortgage payments are on you. She's like, fucking hell.
He's just signed up for an expensive loan. He couldn't even go to a bank. He went to a loan shark.
Well, that's what I was like. This would be an easy over $1 million house. He gets a $250,000 advance. I don't know how much he made on the previous book.
No.
But authors don't make millions off a debut because usually the agency and the publishers have taken advantage being like...
Well, that's the difference, Carl, between Hardin and normal authors. His dad owns the place.
True. That's the difference between authors like Hardin and Harper Lee and everybody else.
Except they're very similar, Harper Lee and Hardin, similar quality of books.
And even then, Harper Lee was still like, that sequel's not good enough to go out. It was her estate that was like, we're leaking money. Put it out.
Put it out.
Put it out. We don't care if Gregory Peck's still alive.
When does the copyright thing? Because when that copyright runs up for To Kill a Mockingbird, it ain't making much coin.
It wouldn't surprise me if the sequel helps refresh the copyright.
That's true. Oh,
Like a loophole or something like that
yeah.
might have been the reasoning behind doing it, you know? Like, it's...
Yeah, so we get, because school kids are buying it every year, so, you know, that's a moneymaker.
Absolutely. Also, just like, I would love it if schools just swapped it out with Hunger Games Mockingjay.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, it's close enough.
Well, there's a Boo Radley in that, I believe, as well.
Absolutely.
Peter.
It's always Peter. There's always a pathetic neighbor, and it's Peter.
Shit. We're at a wedding, Carl. Why are we at a wedding?
Oh my god, whose wedding is this? Are we at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Landon.
What a twist. Landon
came back for shooting.
Came back for shooting. He was in New York last time. He's got married. He's got out of his franchise lucky him, huh?
Yeah.
He's dragged the bride has brought Tessa as her maid of honor, and they're bitching. I love it. Before he gets like, ugh. Hardin had to be the best man because he's like a brother, but like, I don't want him here. No one wants him here. And Tessa's like, do I really have to see him? It's not going to be good.
No, it's so bad. It's like, I don't know why. I just don't invite Hardin.
Yeah.
Hardin assumes he's invited,
Yeah.
right? Because he's like, hey, I'm coming. Surely Landon put the phone against his head and looked at his fiancée and went, I am so sorry, but Hardin just got out of his depression.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they were in a race where Landon was like, he's on the mend, rush up the wedding.
Go.
Like, we can still cut him out without it being awkward.
That's why the wedding was like, that's why they went rock. They rushed it. They were like, we got 4 minutes. Can we just fucking smack it out now? He's like, Han's like, I'm on a plane now. I'm parachuting into Lisbon, out of Lisbon.
We didn't get to talk about it, but how did he get that house? Like, did he talk the original Oda out of it?
What, the wedding or
the White House that he gives to Natalie?
I don't know.
Because we see him go into the house where the old lady lives.
Yeah.
So he must have...
Well, killed her. With fire.
So right, he killed her.
Well, of course. He's killed. He would kill her
So
before.
right. I wonder if it was a dare. Now, I wouldn't suppose we could just tipped her off that cliff.
Oh, of course.
You're 100% he killed her. There's no way this old lady's like, you have to buy it out.
Did you see the keys covered in blood? Little finger was holding that. Yeah, he just fucking slashed it.
Oh, they've got to make another one. After murder.
Oh, that would be good. He is a serial killer, though. He gives off that vibe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, I give him 4... After the end of the movie, another 3 years before things fall apart.
He's got bodies in
He's
the fridge.
American Psychoing New York.
Yeah, exactly. He would make a great American Psycho.
He would make it great. He's got that Christian Bale persona to him, you know.
Yeah.
Just really detached from humanity.
Carl, Tessa, and Hardin meet. They walk down the aisle together for Landon, not for themselves.
Yeah, it's all for Landon.
Yeah.
Landon's like, go get her, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like, what? You're at the altar now. Make this about you.
Make it about you. They make the Hardin makes the wedding about him. He does a speech for Landon. He's like, that guy fucking sucked. I hated Landon.
Oh my god, his speech.
I hated Landon. By the way, love is not real. Sometimes you just gotta wear them down over a period of 2 years. Maybe write a book about them. See if that helps.
It's a terrible speech. When they were like, Hardin, time for your best man speech. I was like, fuck, here we go.
He made it so much better.
I
wrote the note. He makes it about himself before he did the speech.
Yeah, he gets no laughs. He mainly talks about him. It's all also just like, it's mainly he's talking in code about Tessa.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they meet again afterwards, she's like, how dare you talk about our souls like that?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what?
I do love, we're near the end of the film. Pretty much, Hardin's like, all right, I've got to do another crime. Where's a child I can pay? Little kid, come over here. Go get Tessa and make her vulnerable. Because at the moment, she's with all her friends.
Yeah.
So a little kid drags her onto the dance floor.
He isolates her on the dance floor.
like a spider. Just like isolates the fly, attacks. Because then the kid's like, should we go dancing? And then Hardin like kicks him in the face, goes, not today, buddy. All right, Tessa, you're alone and vulnerable. Let's chat.
He negs the kid and goes, he's a bit too short for you and is also a terrible dancer.
Yeah.
What, the 7-year-old that helped you?
He wedgies him and spits in his face as well.
It's true. He pushes him off the same cliff he killed that woman off
of course,
for Natalie.
slashes his fingers. He didn't have a house though.
Do you reckon Tessa would be upset he's bought Natalie a house?
I think furious. I think hey, you said you weren't over me, and yet you've purchased property, which I think is a bigger commitment than marriage.
Yeah.
Buying a property together, that's 30 years
I don't
minimum.
think he brings it up for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Until Natalie's like, hey, I'm going to be in New York next month. Should we catch up? And Tessa's like, that's cool. And then it comes out over dinner, and then you just be pissed because you'd be like, why'd you buy her a house?
I'm convinced, though, Hardin is setting up all these little dominoes, so then when he gets Tessa back in his life, he can push them back down, and he gets a third book out of it.
Oh my God, he's just going to ruin her.
Oh, he is.
That poor woman. Poor Tessa. They're able to squeeze in a sex scene in the final 4 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, they fuck like, the canopies are coming out, and they are fucking hard in the catering tent.
Right. The waiters are watching. They're just like, oh, they're in the brim of all the fucking champagne.
I guess we squeeze out the canapes for a bit longer. I don't think so.
It's crazy during this she apologizes to him as well.
Right? What the hell was that?
I
She
know.
was like, I'm really sorry, Hardin. What was even...
He basically is also like, that's okay, it was your fault. I was like, fuck off, Hardin. You're such
we
a
were
cunt.
meant to redeem himself. I'm pretty... Yeah, he does. I can't remember what she apologizes for. But it's like, she was like, I should have... I don't even know. I mean, the film's just like, ugh. They're back to their bullshit. It's the exact same. Nothing's changed. Carl, like in every one of these films, we end on such a twist. I thought this is where the film was ending, them fucking, and then it's ambiguous of like where they're going.
Yeah.
How's it end?
It ends on, he's got an awful cover for his book, which is assuming a hit.
Yeah.
He walks in, there's a child there. It's their child.
Yeah.
Tessa's in a wig. They've got another baby on the way, even though she was meant to not be.
She was meant in the third one. It was the biggest plot point. I remember peppered in. She could not have kids.
Yeah.
That was the big thing in all the movies. Don't worry, she had two.
Yep, and it ends there. They don't even have like dialogue.
No.
It's crazy they got her in that awful wig.
Yeah.
It's such a bad wig.
It is a bad
but
wig.
What time jump is this? 5 years?
It must be, yeah.
It's crazy. Hardin
kid's
barely
young.
aged, but they made sure to age her, and I thought that was
yeah.
rude.
They're like, oh, she would be haggard.
Yeah.
Hardin wouldn't age a single day because he's goddamn sexy.
Well, it's like he comes back to her being the housewife with the two kids. Like, fuck off.
She gave up her life.
Yeah, it's like it should end with her because doesn't she want to write as well?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Should come back with her having written a hit book to him cooking with the two kids, living off of his 2 hits and 9 failures since.
He got to go on a nice holiday and then got the girl in the end.
Yeah.
What a dreadful ending. But isn't it perfect?
Yeah, it's on theme. It's simply on theme. I wouldn't have expected the movie to end any other way. It just like nonsense. How unfulfilling. It is what it is. Great stuff.
Carl, who would watch After Everything?
Oh wow. After Everything is for those who have already sat through 4.
Yeah.
Who this would be fun to jump into.
I think it
you
would
know?
be. Yeah.
Like
you'd
jump
be
into
lost.
it and imagine the shock
Well,
you'd
I
find
think
out
this
Tessa was in the others.
Oh, I feel like this one actually is a bit more isolated, so it probably is the easiest one. I think it's easier than the first one to actually jump into.
Yeah. At 90 minutes, and because it's set in Lisbon, it was a lot more palatable than the other ones.
It was.
I thought. Like,
I feel like them not infighting is a lot. Like, I don't mind Hardin just kind of being drunk around the area in Lisbon,
Yeah.
because I would do that.
he basically comes across to me as to whatever Ezra Miller did in Hawaii to those poor people.
Yeah, it's not
That's what he did to Lisbon.
just absolutely shallow.
Why the dad at a company they were just like, you've let Hardin loose in Lisbon and it's ruining tourism for us.
Man, who would watch this? I genuinely think, I hope this was a very nice film to make. Because if this was an easy one to make, I'm all supportive of this film. I don't. I think it may have. I think fans of this series may be upset about this ending. For us, I'm over the moon. It feels like everyone got a holiday. It feels like Tessa barely had to be in it. Hardin just got to be drinking in Lisbon. I think hopefully everyone had a fun time and got paid.
I agree. I think who would watch this?
Yeah.
I hope it's the cast and crew.
Yes.
9 years from now, looking at their paycheck going, that movie did that for me.
That was fantastic.
That was
that
for
little
me.
kitchenette in there. That was worth it.
That paid that off. Hey, your college, like tuition,
Yeah,
that film.
that
Let's
film.
watch it together.
Yeah.
You know, and guess what, buddy? We had fun making it.
Yeah.
That's also what mattered.
That's really what I want.
That's what I want for everyone. I hope everyone continues to get to have a career
Yeah.
and is not ruined by the legacy of this bizarre franchise. I hope there's never another and we never have to return.
No.
But I would in a heartbeat.
I'm convinced it's just going to be in a year's time. Just Hardin again on Amazon Press Tour. Just like, We're back.
Just not after Tessa.
Yeah.
He's like, he died young and I had to get back out there. The kids are gone too. Natalie died as well.
It feels final though. There's 2 kids now. Surely, maybe it's like a sad marriage story, but wouldn't that be great?
Imagine if it turned out the kids were imaginary.
Oh my god.
That would be a huge
That would
reveal.
be actually huge.
That would be huge.
Oh my god.
Damn, we could write it. We could go to Lisbon. We could write it. We could do it. Who's it for? It's for me when I have to do my pitch to the studio for a 6th film, baby. If you want to have a say about what movies we are watching on the podcast, you can write into us at
askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com.
You can also write in with other things. We got a delightful email from Molly the other day. Molly has written, "Hi, Oscar and Carl. It's your American listener, Molly, again. This time writing you from a European holiday. I recently listened to your episode, Who Would Watch a Haunting in Venice, while on the night train into Venice. To set the scene for my trip, your episode provided an excellent travel guide for Venice, something you could expand into. While walking around Venice in search of a pizza under €15, we stumbled upon a small movie theater showing a haunting in Venice
Huge.
This is huge for Venice.
This is huge. I feel like we had a bit during the Haunting in Venice that no one in Venice would watch a Haunting in Venice.
Yeah.
So over the moon that someone did.
I'm just glad somebody did. I mean, I don't know if she's confirming she even actually watched it, but I'd love it if she did.
Oh, huge.
Molly, let us know if you actually watched A Haunting in Venice, because you deserve a star. She's also written, to answer your question, I'm not sure who would watch A Haunting in Venice because the movie theater looked pretty empty. Oh, so she did watch it.
Yeah, huge.
Nice. Thanks for the great episode, Travel Guide. Next time, maybe you can give your review of the Fast and Furious locations. I actually think we could.
Yeah, fuck. Where
so-
have we been?
LA.
I mean, you gushed on about Lisbon for this episode.
Lisbon's sick. I would recommend anybody go to Lisbon or Porto.
Yeah.
I think they're good. I did the train between them as well. They're great. Go to the beaches, look out for the food. Any little independent cafe you can find in either of those 2 places, and just order the seafood.
Oh, stunning.
The seafood there's sick.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious, though, in LA, what can we recommend? Don't go.
Don't go to Hollywood. We walked past 2 people doing crack on the star next to Howie.
Yeah.
So, good.
We're not joking. They were literally about to OD
line
on
up
a star next to Howie.
Oh,
It was uncomfortable.
But check it out, though. It's quite fun.
Yeah, it is. Hit up the diners. I thought the diners were good there.
Diners are
We went to a really good waffle and fried chicken house as well.
We did.
And they took ages. It ruined the day how long they took to serve us.
But it was one of the
It was
best.
so good.
Oh, man, I think Barack Obama had been there.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
It was awesome fried chicken and
Yeah.
waffles.
Fuck, it was really good.
So that was really good. Where else do they go in those movies? Space is a high recommend. Get up there if you can.
Normally Tyrese and the Gibbs are sort of just hanging around there. Are Tyrese and the Gibbs the same people? No.
No,
Yes.
Tyrese Gibson is the Gibbs.
Yeah. I was like,
The Gibbs and Ludacris.
Ludicrous.
That's
That's
what you
it.
want. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta go to space.
The Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
Tokyo is fantastic.
Yeah.
I would recommend the ramen place we went to.
Oh yeah, we had an hour layover and we ran to a ramen place. You guys had never been to Japan. And we're like, should we just get some ramen? How cool is Japan?
Oh,
huh?
my God, it was so good. It was the biggest bowl of ramen I've ever had, and it was just delicious and delightful.
It was delightful.
Especially because I think we had a pretty rough trip back, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
I remember being like staggering to be able to stay awake to get our flight at the
Yeah.
airport after that. But that ramen was great, and then the Uber driver just like took us around the city as well.
It was lovely, wasn't it?
That was awesome.
I would say Kyoto's a place to go.
Yeah.
but Tokyo's also very cool.
Where do they go in the second one? Florida. I've been to Florida. It's nuts. Florida's like anything goes. It's like obviously not the most accepting state in America, but like, hey, if you want to hit up Disneyland and just look, cars and drugs are like that there.
There you go.
It's just what it is. You could anything fucking goes. I also would highly recommend if you want to laugh, go to any theme park that isn't owned by a studio. Like the ones
up there.
yeah, the ones that are trying to capitalize on the parents that can't afford to go to Disneyland all the days.
Grim.
They're like, hey, we'll do one day at Disneyland and then one day at like Fun Adventure Park 9. And the kids are like, okay, that's
Is
sad.
Gloopy there? The clown? The clown? No, the clown.
Yeah, they couldn't even afford the right to that. What are the other ones? We haven't done Brazil.
No.
Sixth one's London. We both recommend London.
Yeah, go to London. I couldn't tell you much about London. And in fairness, the film also was like pretty boring. London,
Yeah,
huh?
even the sixth one wasn't that committed to
No.
being in London. Even they skipped out of London for all the exciting stuff.
Yeah.
What was the seventh one?
That
LA
was-
again,
No,
and
they jump out of a plane into, I want to say like Norway. It's like nice pine trees there. Oh no, they're in Dubai.
yes, they go to Dubai.
You gotta drive a car through 2 buildings.
Yeah,
That
if you
is-
don't do it's on every single tourism pamphlet to try and do it.
Yeah.
Not everyone can do it, but if you get the chance, absolutely do it.
Definitely.
What's the eighth one? Antarctica.
Yeah, you go to Antarctica. 9th one, space, and then the 10th one. Just
No, where was the ninth one actually set?
9th one's at various places. There's a space. There's where Tom Cruise was just in that last Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
The big bowl goes through the city.
Italy? I mean,
Maybe it's Italy. Yeah, I think it's near
no,
the Vatican.
Florence or
Florence, something.
I don't remember.
Italy.
Wherever they went to in both the
Mission
newest
Impossible. Yeah,
Mission Impossible and the newest Fast and Furious, that is a sick place.
that looks sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't think where it is.
I think
though.
you've been there. I think we've chatted about the fact
think we have,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we were like, it's so nice to see those places.
not destroyed or cars driving.
Oh
through
no,
them.
sometimes it's just like again because we don't ever get stuff shot in Australia.
No,
So
except
we never
except,
get
except Mission Impossible.
yeah, except that Mission Impossible one, which was again what a freak out.
I'll say, I mean, listen, if you're still listening, great. We were in New York at the start of this year or last year.
Yeah.
I found the Succession building.
Oh,
I was so happy. I was over the moon.
you were beaming the entire time. I did National Treasure references the entire time.
Constantly.
Because that was the church.
That was the church.
The church from the end
Oh
of
my gosh.
National Treasure. Like, that was so exciting to me.
It was.
So, anytime, even if I've traveled to a place that it pops up in a movie, I'm pretty freaking excited.
Well, thank you so much for emailing.
Thank
Molly
you for
again.
emailing in, Molly. We love the pictures as well.
Send us askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com. Just anything, really. We'll just chat about at the end.
Need some life advice? I'm
Yeah.
not doing well at it, but I can let you know what not to do.
Give us a go, huh? Don't start a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll chew up all your days and your weekends, your nights. You're just editing now.
Yeah, that's my job.
I know, I haven't edited in ages. It's been nice.
Yeah. Carl, what are we doing next week?
Next week, Oscar, we are doing Resident Evil.
We forgot it was October, the spooky month for horror films, and now we're going to do one of them.
We're going to do one.
I don't think it's going to be uploaded in October, but hey, that's enough.
No, huh? A little Mila Jovovich classic.
Classic.
I'm hoping we got a new franchise on our hands to make up for after finishing.
Be huge.
It's like 8 Resident Evils, right? Or 7?
So many.
Yeah, I've seen them all.
King.
Cannot wait to talk about them.
Thank you.
Thank you.